Imagine your med spa running like a well-oiled machine. New clients pouring in, bookings happening seamlessly, and happy clients are just raving all about you. All while you're sitting back, either sipping coffee, or you're on vacation, or you're at the beach. Now, does it sound impossible? Well, it's not. Because in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can get your med spa to this spot without you burning out by really learning how to outsource the right tasks, the steps you need to get there, and really keeping control where it counts. So this is the problem that I see a lot of practices running into, is that they're overwhelmed from everything. They're trying to do the marketing, they're doing the HR, they're doing the services, they're taking care of the finances, they're doing everything. And not only that, but they have people coming in, their staff, and they're constantly turning them over. They are struggling to find good people, and when they do find good people, they find that they can't duplicate them, or they're getting too much into the minutia. So what I want to introduce to you is this concept of this flywheel framework. And basically it's 3 steps. 1, it's attract. 2, it's engaged. And 3 is what I like to call delight. And it's really a self-sustaining growth system. And it does this by reducing your workload through smart outsourcing. Now, when I say outsourcing, I don't want you to immediately think that, oh, I'm going to find somebody in a different country to do this for me. When I'm talking about outsourcing, I'm talking about getting other team members to take this over for you and how you can get to that area. Now, this is really going to fall into 3 main stages. 1 is acquisition. So within these stages, attract is really how you're going to get your clients to come in. People who are interested in your service are looking for what you're offering. After that, I'm going to talk about the engage portion. So this is how you're able to engage with those leads and really increase the chances that those leads are able to turn into an appointment, and from an appointment, they're able to turn into a paying client. And the last one is delight. This is where you're able to really wow that client so that they keep coming back over and over and over again, and you're able to get more out of them, whether it's through referrals or whether it's through reviews. And I'm also going to tell you how much of this can be outsourced, and if you do want to outsource it, what that would look like. So let's start with the first one. So the first phase of this is called attract. So how are we able to get people who are looking for your services to come in? Because let's be honest, if you don't have clients, you don't have revenue, you don't have a business. So I'm going to talk about really 3 main strategies for this. The first one is search engine optimization. Second one is Google Ads. And the third one is Facebook ads. So the first one, search engine optimization. What this is that this is when people are looking for your service online or for your type of business online. So if I look up med spa near me, which businesses are popping up? Now, if you're popping up near the top, then that's great, because if you're coming up near the top, then most people are going to look at you first. And they see you, they're going to make a decision. Do I want to contact this practice? Do I want to give them a call? And if your reviews are very strong as well, that's even better. So what I found when it comes to search engine optimization, yes, it does take time to be shown in the higher spots. But when it comes to search engine optimization, what I found is that you're going to get your best quality lead from this channel. So why is that? It's because people are looking for the service. So if they're looking, then they're very interested. And they probably have the financial means to be able to afford your services if they are looking for the service themselves. And particularly if you're offering more high-ticket services and people are looking for them and they find you and they call you, then you have first shot at them to sell them your high-ticket services. So search engine optimization is actually one of my favorite channels, just because you're going to get high-quality leads. These are going to be the people that's the warmest online leads you're going to get. So that's one channel. Google Ads is another channel. So Google Ads works pretty similarly, where people go on Google, they do a search for a service, and you pop up near the top. However, this is an ad, so you're basically paying your way to the front of the line, kind of like a fast pass at Disneyland. You pay, you get to go to the front of the line. Now, there's some pros and cons to this. Pros is that you're basically, even if you're a brand new business, you're able to be found at the very top of a Google search. The con, though, is that many people, when they see that, they see like the ad next to it, and a good bit of people skip over the ads. So there is some good and bad to it. However, what I do like about it is that basically you're able to pay your way to the front, and then also you are going to get some people that are going to click on it and going to want to take advantage of whatever it is that you are offering. So the quality of the lead is still good, but you're just paying more for that lead. So, but for a lot of new practices or practices that haven't really done marketing that much, and they don't necessarily have a strong sales team to follow up on the leads, I think Google Ads is a really good place to start. That's actually where I recommend most practice to start, with Google Ads, if you want to try and get people coming in the door as soon as possible and you want someone that's much warmer. Now, the last one is Facebook ads, meta ads. I'm going to basically wrap all the social media up into one. Now, this channel can also be very good for you. Typically, you're going to get more leads through this channel for the same budget. However, in exchange for that, the con is that the quality of the leads is going to be lower. This is a lower or a colder lead just because people didn't go to Facebook or to Instagram looking for your services. They're on there seeing what their friends and family's up to. They're there to kill time. They see your ad. Oh, this is interesting. Let me click on it. Let me see. Okay, let me put my information in, and they keep scrolling. So very often these people forget what they sign up for. So if you've ever run Facebook ads before and someone submitted their information and you reach out to them like 30 minutes later, they're like, how'd you get my information? Who are you? Like, I didn't submit my information. By the time you remind them, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. So that's why it's not a very warm lead. So you do need to nurture these leads a lot more. Also, if you have a very strong salesperson or whoever is following up on the leads, then Facebook ads, meta ads can work quite well for you. You just need to understand that not all these leads are going to be warm. Actually, the majority of them are going to be a colder lead that you then have to nurture, you have to call, you have to follow up with, and then you're hoping that you can get some of those people to come in and actually turn into a paying client. Now, those are the three main strategies. Now, let's talk about the outsource level. Like, what level of outsourcing should you do for this? So this is an 80 to 90% outsource level. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, you do want someone to be able to do this for you. That can be a marketing agency, that could be an in-house employee, it could even be an intern. You could even take one of your existing employees and try and have them do it. That's something I typically don't recommend unless they understand marketing. But in this area, you really want to get an expert who knows what they're doing. So outsource this. I definitely recommend you get someone to help you with this, who is an expert in this space. So if you're outsourcing the majority of this to somebody else, well, then what is your role? Well, your role in this situation is to really work with that marketing person, that marketing team, that marketing company to make sure that they're keeping things on track, that they're hitting goals, and that overall they're helping you to grow your practice. So that's the first stage, which is attract. Let's move on to the second phase, which is engage. So engage is really what happens once leads start coming in. Now, this could be leads from your search engine optimization. It could be from your Google ads. It could be from your meta ads. It could be by referrals. It could be your strategic partnerships. Basically, this engage is any lead that comes in from any channel. And so what goes into this is, how is that lead being treated? So the first place we look at is call answering. Who is the person who is picking up the phone and talking to these people? Who's the first point of contact? This is where I see a huge area for improvement for many, many practices. Many of them mess this up. So it's all about, how do you answer that call? Are you making sure that they're being taken care of? And is that person selling the appointment? That's the one important thing. Whoever is following up on that lead, whoever is answering that phone call, they really have one job, and that is to sell the appointment with you or your practitioner or whoever is the one that's going to be providing the services or doing the consultation. The person on the phone is not trying to sell the service. They're trying to sell the appointment. That's it. If they're able to sell the appointment and get the person to show up, then they've done their job, even if they have no idea what any of the services do. Now, of course, they need to have some knowledge of what it does, but they're not selling the service. They're selling the appointment. That's the most important thing. So that's one area. But another big area is just that they're not trained in sales. They're not very aggressive. They want to come off more as customer service. So that can be an issue. And there's nothing to say that just because you're more salesy doesn't mean you're rude or that you're pushy. It's all about how you're able to solve the problem of the person on the other end of that line. So what are they looking for, why they're looking for it, and why does it make sense for them to come in for that consultation? So following up on leads, how that call is being answered, this part you really need to take a look into, and this kind of falls more into the sales training side, but it is a critical component. The other part of this is lead nurturing. So think of this more as like email newsletters or email sequences that are sent, or even text message blasts that are sent to the people that are in your audience. This could be your existing clients, this could be potential clients, this could be people that you met at events. So you want to keep nurturing all your leads so that you're staying top of mind with them. I like doing newsletters because it's just an easy way to put together something nice and send it out to people on an ongoing basis. Just make sure you are giving value. You can't just spam people with all your promotions all the time. You need to make sure that you're giving them value. But you do want to nurture your leads over time, because not every lead you're going to get is going to turn into a paying client. So what happens to that lead? In most situations, it goes into a bucket and no one ever looks at that bucket ever again. So what you want to do is you want to keep nurturing those leads because you never know when those leads are going to come back and buy from you. And because this process of nurturing leads typically doesn't take much money, maybe some time, but really not much money, it's always a good thing to do. So when it comes to the outsource level, this is 50-50. So when it comes to lead nurturing, having someone come in and build a automated system for you would be nice, and then just have them teach you what to do after that. When it comes to call answering, this really depends. You can outsource this to a call center. It's not my favorite option, but it can be done if you really need it. I'm of the belief that you should train your internal team on how they should be answering calls, how they should be trying to sell the appointment, and all that. Because if you do that internally, you can turn it into a process, and then depending on how you want to exit your practice, whether you want to sell it, whether you want to bring in a manager just to run it for you and you can sit back on the beach somewhere, if you want to expand to multiple locations, this has to become a strong process. So that's why I like having an internal team and training that internal team. So again, outsource level here, 50-50. Maybe you want to start with a call center, but then bring it in-house and start training your in-house people. Lead nurturing, as I mentioned, you could bring someone in to kind of help you set up the initial, and then they can teach you how to do it. Or this part you can completely outsource to somebody else as well. That part is fine, but again, that's why I'm saying this is 50-50. Now, your role in this specifically is going to be training. Making sure that if you're not training the front desk people, that you bring someone else who can train them, and then turn that into a process. So for you as a business owner, you need to think about how you're going to train your people up, how you're going to turn that into a process so that even when you're not there, they are following the process that you set in place that is working. It's also easy when you bring new team members in and train them on the process. This is how we do things here. We do it this way because it works. So that is the second phase, engage. Now the last stage, or the last phase here, is delight. So this is all about what happens when your client comes in and they experience your exceptional service. So obviously, you want to provide exceptional service, and I'll call it customer service to them. Make sure they're happy, make sure they're getting the results. Now after that, what you want to do is you want to try and get some more from every single client that you have coming in. So do you have loyalty programs that you get them to sign up for? Are you incentivizing them to come back more often? Is there a way that you can get them to spend more with you to get more of what they're looking for? Also, post-treatment. Whenever you have someone that came in, they had a good result, they're happy, you always want to ask them for an online review. Now, there are ways that you can automate this, which I highly recommend. Just asking people, most will not do it because they're going to forget about it. You need to have a process. Remember, I said that word again, process. You want to have a process in place to ask all your happy clients to leave an online review for you. If there's a way that can be automated, and if there's a way that you could send multiple messages out to that person so that they can remind them, that's best. When we do this for our clients, we basically put in a system that's a series of 3 texts and 3 emails asking them to leave a review. If they click on the link on any of those messages, then they won't get the remaining messages. Because again, the sole purpose is to get them to go leave a review. Now, referral, do you have any referral programs also? So this is all part of the post-treatment. What are you doing with them afterwards? If they're coming in for something like Botox, are you scheduling their next appointment 3 months down the road? Do you have a reminder to reach out to them 2 months, 2.5 months later to schedule them to bring them in? This is all part of the post-treatment process. Now, when it comes to outsource level, I say this is close to 0. Like, you want to make sure you're providing exceptional service. You want to train your people to provide the exceptional service. You want to think about what loyalty programs, what referral programs, what can you do to get more online reviews, all of that. So that's why outsource level on this is as close to 0 as possible. And again, your role in this is delivering first the service, then after that, training your team. How can your team deliver that exceptional service that you are used to providing? How can your team ask for online reviews? How can your team get people on your loyalty programs? How can your team ask for referrals? So that's the third phase, which is delight. So how does this all connect together? I talked about this being a flywheel. So the attract feeds into the engage. You get leads coming in, you get a whole bunch of leads coming in. Next phase, engage. How are you able to turn those leads into appointments and those appointments into clients? And lastly, how are you able to delight those clients that do come in? with exceptional service. They're happy, they want to refer, they want to go on your loyalty programs, they want to keep coming back. And so when you keep doing that, it keeps spinning faster and faster and faster with less and less effort from you. That's why I said you have to train your team. That's a very important role that you have. Not doing the work in the beginning, you do have to do it, but you really want to focus on how can you train your team and processes in place so that even when you step away, everything is working without you. So that's how you want to be able to grow your med spa even without yourself. So that you can go sit on the beach somewhere, you can go after maybe other passion projects, you can set up more locations, whatever it is that your goal is, you want to make sure that you have everything in place so that your practice grows without you. So hopefully that helped. If you need any help with anything that I've talked about here, or maybe being part of, we can be your team for part of the outsourcing of this, click the link below, schedule a time to talk with our team, and we're happy to help you. Otherwise, good luck.